documents, how to add some additional documentation to your DataMiner system, not only with real documents, files, but also hyperlinks to websites, email addresses to contact persons, and also notes and annotations I can attach to my elements, services, views. Let's check that out, how that works. So documentation is interesting, of course, to have it immediately at hand. So we're going to see how that comes into play in the DataMiner system, which kind of documents we can add. They are organized in folders to keep it a little bit organized. How to add those documents with some additional options. There's also searching capabilities. And finally, we'll then take a look at how to add notes to those services, elements, views, objects I have in DataMiner, and optionally also some annotations. All right, so documentation, as I said, is always important to have it immediately available so that you can easily look up the correct information. So therefore, we have inside DataMiner the possibility to store documents and have them immediately available while working with specific elements or just general-wide, system-wide documentation. So you have it available whenever you go to a specific device. Let me just pop up our DataMiner Cube. I'm connected still to my DCP DMA, which is online available on dcpdma.skyline.be. So if I just go to a specific device, I have on the sidebar here, we already took a look at data and things like that. Also documents available and notes and annotations. So the documents allow you to immediately go and see specific documents that are relevant for the Microsoft platform. But as you can see, there are also some general documentation options available. Therefore, we also have it available as a dedicated app. So this is within the apps in the sidebar here. You can go to the documentation documents app, and there you will find again that general documentation and then the protocol or device type specific documents that are in there. So let's take a look at that. So you can access that from within a device or the general documents app and also the search. What kind of documents you can put in there? Any kind. I mean, there's no limitation. It's just a document store. So if it's a PDF file, if it's an Excel or any kind of file you have available, even like an executable to do a firmware upgrade or an ipconfig tool or something like that, you can just drop it in there and immediately have it available. Of course, to open up the specific file type like a Visio file or something, you would need to have a Visio on the client machine. Next to that, you can also add email addresses and hyperlinks to websites. So be creative, put in there technical documentation, API documents, user manuals, technical contacts, persons, etc. To keep it organized, we need to use a little bit of a folder, similar as you would have in a file explorer, so nothing special there. You do have the possibility to create specific folders and subfolders, but there will be some root folders that are fixed and hard-coded in the system. The first one is the general documents. The general documents is a folder that basically contains all the documents that are available system-wide. It doesn't matter if I'm working on a Cisco or on an encoder or any kind of device. It doesn't matter, you will always have those general documents available. You can put in there like training files or naming conventions, these kind of things. Next to that, we will have also protocol-specific documents where we will basically have, for instance, for only the Microsoft platform drivers, specific documents, or only for the Cisco or only for a specific encoder, have certain documents in there. So only when I'm working, in this case, I have here the DMA info and Microsoft element open. So it shows me only the Microsoft platform folder and the documents that are relevant for that one. There is also a third option, and that is element-specific documents. Let's say I have 100 servers, and I want to add a document in there, which is just like an Excel with some log entries on the maintenance of that single specific server. Then I don't want it to have available on all my 100 servers, but only for that specific element, that single server. So that's why there is also the element specific folder there. You can use the right-click menu to create subfolders in any of those 3 root folders. You can just create any subfolders, as we have here a little bit with a training, a help, an element rollout, all kinds of subfolders already created here. So adding a document, whenever you chose your folder where you want to store it in, you can just right-click and add a document or choose add document. You will see the pop-up you can see here on the right-hand side where you can choose a specific document you take from your local computer, you browse to, on your computer, or you can go for a hyperlink and an email. The document you potentially pick from your desktop or something like that, you need to specify a location. So you will need to specify if this is a global document or a local document, if it's only for that specific server or for any server, any Microsoft platform server. So that's a choice you have to make there. Note there's a small limitation there when uploading a document. By default, there's a 20 megabyte limitation on there. You can change that on some kind of server setting. You can look it up in the help. We do that just to make you aware that you don't want large documents to be synchronized throughout your complete DataMiner system. If you have a lot of DataMiner agents, maybe remote ones as well, this information is being synchronized across all DataMiner nodes. So just keep that in mind. If you have a larger document, you might want to think about storing it somewhere on a share and use a UNC path to that share. That's the next option there, hyperlink or UNC path. A hyperlink speaks for itself. That's just like www.skyline.be you can put in there. For instance, a website to the technical support of that vendor for that specific driver, or a UNC path like indicated here, / my server, my share, doc1 txt. So that's a UNC path. You basically refer to one document that is stored somewhere on a share where you need to have access to, of course. Or the third option then is just an email address. You can specify like a technical support or a contact person for this specific driver or for general contacts. Some other options in the right-click menu is you have the possibility to just open up or double-click the document that's opening a PDF file, for instance, or you can also go for the save, download it onto your local computer, or add a document, which we just took a look at. And deleting is, of course, also an option. Now, I mentioned at the beginning also that searching is a possibility for documents. If you use the search on the top of your DataMiner cube, you will need to go to the advanced search to be able to search documents. If you go to the advanced search, then it will also search in the side panel here throughout the documents. You can limit it so that only documents are searched as well. So you have that possibility there as well. There's even a keyword. If you type document and something else that contains the title of the document, it would also use that filter for only searching the document types. Now, before I continue with notes, I'll just quickly show that in the UI as well. So let me open up my DataMiner info. And so the side panel, you might need to open up your side panel if it's not open yet to be able to access the documents. So in there, you will indeed find the general documents where we just have one PNG in there, the Microsoft specific devices with an upgrade or update PDF, and then the element specific, but this one doesn't have any. So if you want to add a new document, you just right click, add a document. In my case, I'm just gonna maybe go for an URL as an example, www.skyline.be. Okay, and basically you have that hyperlink available. Simple, straightforward, but convenient. If you are working with a specific device, you have that documentation immediately available, the hyperlinks, the email addresses. Now, that being said, those are documents, websites, and hyperlinks and email addresses. You can also add a quick note on a specific device. And watch out, I said specific device, because a note, that's like a yellow post-it, a yellow sticker you put on one specific element. It's not something that is going to be on my 100 servers, that is protocol wide. No, that's one specific device that I put a post-it on there. A quick note, like for instance, we see here there's some maintenance or the server will be replaced. So some notes that I add that this server will be replaced, not my 100 servers, this server will be replaced. It's very simple. It doesn't even have a save or anything like that. You just give it a title, you give it some content, you can close it again, and optionally you can also put an expiration date on there. Let's check that out on our system here. So we do have one note on our system, and actually if I close my sidebar, notes are by default visible here. And I see that there's a reboot coming up in the coming weekends, and the latest updates will be installed. So a reboot will be scheduled, and it expires also on next Sunday, because next week this will no longer be applicable. If you want to add a new note, you can just say there like replace server like we had before, and that is for let's say Q2 Q2 will be replaced. It's not in Q2, the server will be replaced. So you could put an expiration date on there as well. You can choose. No need to save. My note is added. If I close this, if somebody else goes to this server again, he will be able to see the note that I just added on there. You can just simply close it as well. Very simple, very straightforward. Small last note. If a note expires, you do have, it's not deleted automatically, but you can still show the expired note there as well with that checkbox on the upper right-hand side. Okay, next to the notes that quickly adds some text on there, you do also have annotations. Annotations is very similar to notes, but it's a little bit more rich. In a sense that you can use formatting, you can use tables, you can add images in there. It's a full HTML editor that we have available. So you can add more in there. It also has a save, so it's a little bit, you could say, heavier to use, but it is also more feature rich. So that's next to the notes, we have the annotations available. That's also similar as nodes for a specific element, not for a protocol, not for my 100 servers, for only that specific server that I'm currently working on, that it is being used. And I only have one. With nodes, I can have multiple nodes on a specific server, like I already had two nodes on my server. And I deleted one. But with the annotations, you only have one annotation, one HTML paper sheet where you can just add some notes also on there, but some more like also formatting tables, pictures, etc. I see that on my current device here, I have no annotations available yet, so there is nothing configured yet. So if I click on there, it opens up the HTML editor. And I can add, for instance, let's say contact person, that's myself. just as a quick example. And of course, I can add in there pictures as well. I can start adding a table in there if I, for instance, want to add some records on maintenance that have been done. So all these kind of things can be done with formatting in this thing. That's just an HTML editor. I'm not going to go into more details on that one. If you're finished, you click Save and you close the window, and this will automatically be updated here. So whenever you want to make further changes, you click the edit again, it opens up again, and I can continue my editing there. Okay, simple and straightforward again, but very useful. So these kind of small additional features are very useful to make sure that somebody has the correct information at hand whenever he's working with a specific type of device or a specific element. So what we have been looking at is basically adding additional information. So we have, first of all, documents we can add, real files, PDF, Excel, even executables, firmware upgrades. All of that can be added together with links to websites and email addresses. That is either on a global level, on a system level, always available, or on a specific element type, like all my Microsoft servers have these documents available, and even on an element level. On an element level, we have the additional possibility there to also add notes, multiple small quick notes like a yellow post-it putting on my elements, and that HTML paper sheet, the annotations that is available for my elements. So those things are available. And one thing I forgot to mention also is that you can have actually the notes also available and the annotations on views and services. So also on that level, we can add some additional information. Okay, I hope that was clear. And if you still have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We do have trending coming up next.